And now, wow, look at that technical prowess of both men.
mates
Oh, wow.
wow.
And Sellström looking to put the brakes on and carrying himself.
Oh boy, I cannot wait for this one.
This is the match that you spoke about.
The technical showcase.
Things are about to shift into an extremely cold gear because this is a man who made his debut at the last Coliseum show in an all-time classic against Joel Redman. It's out with the old and in with the cold. Jakk Sellström is back at Coliseum.
Oh boy, I might put my jacket back on, it just got a little bit chilly in here.
Yes, it did. Look at the, do you know what, Jakk Sellström. The Revenant has come to crush everyone's dreams, just like he did last time out, of course.
Yep.
He had a helping hand, an unlikely one in the likes of Bullet last time out against Joel Redman, but what an instant classic, and there is nobody better at professional wrestling than Jakk Sellström. And with this mean streak to boot, that is a terrifying combination for anyone.
I managed to catch a quick word of him earlier on. He said Jakk Sellström is his true self. He wanted nothing more to be loved and accepted as a kid, and he was taken advantage of by the people that he thought were his friends, and he was thrown out into a frozen lake where he almost drowned. He vowed he'd never let that happen again.
You mentioned that frozen lake. Well, Jakk Sellström has embraced the cold. He's embraced the Iceman mentality, and you see something different, the color in the eyes. There's something eerily empty about that. He's very callous now. He's brutal. But if there is one man who can match Jakk Sellström on a technical level,
oh man,
Mr. Catch-22, the founder, the owner of one of the best and most vaunted training schools in Europe.
The Godfather of Welsh wrestling.
Welsh wrestling, with the identity it has now, does not have it without this man. Two men who are arguably wrestling royalty, but none more royal in the land of the valleys than this individual. Mike Bird, the Birdman, returns and makes his debut, by the way, at Coliseum, and what a privilege. Jakk, I saw a smile out of Jakk Sellström. He's looking forward to this.
It wasn't a friendly smile either.
No, it wasn't. It was I am going to make you into a Netflix documentary. That's what I'm going to do.
Yep. I know we have to be unbiased, we have to call this down the line, but I've got all the love in the world for Mike Bird. One of the very best, not just in Wales, but in the UK, arguably even Europe, and a technical specialist. There isn't a move that this man doesn't know.
We have watched Mike Bird ourselves personally, Wrestling Resurgence and a number of other places, tear this business down and reform the walls of technical excellence. But Jakk Sellström is on next level territory right now. It's something, he's terrifying, he's eerie, but he's also, you have to admire him. I'm kind of in awe of what Jakk Sellström is able to create in the last few years, especially the last few months. This Iceman of sorts, this lizard-like mentality. It's like he's from a new world, an underworld. He loves the cold, and like you say, from the frozen lakes, he now embraces that as his home. No longer would he allow anyone to bring him into the warmth and comfort where he feels weakness is aplenty.
Yes. He, again, said earlier on, he said he's locked his true self away and thrown away the key. He spent most of his life pretending he was someone that he's not, and he hopes it wouldn't repeat itself. He's been to the big leagues. His departure from there was the last straw.
Violent headlock by Jakk Sellström, who makes the mundane look magnificent. Wow. And a shoulder block. And I'll tell you what, my Bird has a height and weight advantage on Jakk Sellström, and you would not have seen it right there. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up if you are a fan of professional wrestling at its purest and most exciting form. This is the match that will excite you most. A technical masterpiece is abound when Jakk Sellström faces Mike Bird at the Coliseum. Only at Coliseum can you get a match of this quality, and Mike Bird and Jakk Sellström are ready cocked and loaded to deliver a final blow inside Coliseum. Oh, wow. Yeah, beautiful takeover by Mike Bird. Now looking for that wrist control. What has brought him to the dance so many times, those fundamentals that he's now teaching his young graduates at Catch 22, and we've already seen, of course, one of his finest students, KM Lane, on display earlier tonight. And Mike Bird, no doubt, was very proud of that performance, but oh, look at that, the athleticism of Jakk Sellström.
Look at that!
Beautiful.
Up and over, effortless.
Beautiful, like Hammerlock Northern Lights escape, just absolutely stunning. Referee Tom Scarborough, the best in the game, and we need the best in the game when you're refereeing two dangerous and fluid individuals.
Strap yourself in, this is going to be an absolute clinic.
Matrix-like mentality from these two men. They will absolutely bend and break the wrestling universe to their will, and now Jakk Sellström is looking to break Mike Bird down. He's looking to dissect him, but
tough man to break.
Yes, it is. It's the toughest indeed. And look at the technique into the headlock. And now off the rest of the pace quick as well to get a shoulder block. And the Godfather of Welsh wrestler just ran through Jakk Sellström with abundance. The rage, and look at the calmness. And do you know what? It's the shift in mentality to go from something that violent to immediately so calm. It is hard not to be in awe of two men of this nature. And you can see the crowd already. They love good professional wrestling, and this isn't good. This is great.
Exceptional.
This is a masterclass.
We've only just got started.
So what, Ray? You can go to Paris, you can go to the Louvre and see the Moaning Lisa, or whatever it's called. Nobody cares about that garbage. This is real art.
Or you can come to the Colosseum and see true art.
This is literally what Colosseum in Rome would have had in mind in terms of gladiatorial combat. Mike Bird seems to have found a friend in the audience, and yes, he has. There we go.
Man of the people.
Man of the people. Jakk Sellström looks enraged by the very concept of, you know, he's hot dogging a bit, is Mike Bird. Not something you see out of him too often here, but do you know what? He knows that the people of Colosseum love the purest wrestling. He knows what he can deliver, and Jakk Sellström is not going to allow any more of those shenanigans.
I mean, yeah, Sellström's looking for a big scalp here.
Yeah, absolutely.
He talks about taking the soul of his opponents. He wants to take a part of them when he beats them.
Jakk Sellström has already claimed Joel Ribman, former NXT UK NXT Tag Team Champion, the first ever NXT Tag Team Champion. So arguably, who's the only other man who matches up with Joel Ribman in terms of technical excellence?
Adding to an already prestigious collection.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, there aren't too many men left who can match up with this kind of technical prowess. We've got maybe James Mason. Doug Williams is now retired. Bless his heart. So, you know what? This is the best to offer. And I'll tell you what, if you want to say to management and Coliseum and say, I am the man to lead this company, if you can knock off Joel Redman and Mike Bird in succession, forget about it. There's no arguments to be had there.
Absolutely not.
Jakk Sellström. Don't be fooled by the size, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I know a lot of people see him, yeah, 5'7", 5'8", smaller guy. This guy is a freight train.
Yes. I mean, maybe that tall, but it hits like a guy twice his size, twice his height, has everything, can go high, can go fast.
Forged from the fires, ironically, of facing the likes of Gunter, of course. And now, wow, look at that technical prowess of both men. Oh, wow. And Sellström looking to put the brakes on and carrying himself. And a beautiful monkey flip. And absolutely classic professional wrestling. And look at that. The shoulders were down so quickly.
I'm sorry, I've got to applaud that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I've got to applaud that.
It's a masterpiece in professional wrestling. It really is. And a rightful round of applause from the Coliseum, of course. And this is honestly what Italian emperors would have had in mind when they thought about pitting the greatest athletes against each other inside a Coliseum. And this really does personify that in the professional wrestling world. Mike Bird versus Jakk Sellström. Worth the entrance fee 15 times over alone. And here we go, beautiful hammerlock takeover. And now a waistlock takeover by Mike Bird, looking to control the shoulder, looking to control the body. Potentially looking to use an STI. I'll tell you what, if you're a fan of World of Sport, if you're a fan of individuals like Fit Finley, Regal, Valiant, this is your time to shine.
In your wheelhouse. I feel like I should be sat here in a toga with a bowl of grapes or something. This is...
I mean, I can feed you grapes if you like.
If you could,
As Colin would say, you need to do a food at some point.
Do a food.
Yes, we need to do a food.
We'll do a food. Next time we'll bring some grapes.
Right now, Mike Bird is looking to do a chiropractic session. at the expense of the surfboard stretch of sauce. Jesus, how far. Look at that, because, oh my God, that contortion. I tell you what, I hope you've got an osteopath on standby, Mr. Sellström, because that is something else. And why, again, that's something you wouldn't see from many wrestlers, though. Jakk Sellström aware enough where the ropes are.
Was in the ring,
even hanging upside down in that pain and peril, was able to have the ring awareness to break. That's something not many people can do, and Mike Bird right now looks to be in good control of this contest, and Jakk Sellström sucking in air, favouring that lower back. You do not want to have a debilitated lower back going into a match against Mike Bird. Again, that cravat that has been utilised so much by the likes of Johnny Saint. An amazing, amazing prowess of professional wrestling on offer. A European uppercut that honestly would have disconnected my esophagus, and for some reason Mike Bird apparently is able to just stand there and take
Mike Bird wanted none of that.
That's fine. Different gravy.
Yeah,
right, he is from Wales. They know how to ball. And oh my God, I tell you what, this is a raging Mike Bird, and one of his own and a knife edge chop and another, and that seems to have enraged the Godfather of Welsh wrestling. And Jakk Sellström counters with the Irish whip and then picks him. Look at the power there. Oh my God, a backbreaker right across Sellström's knee. Sellström, like we spoke about with his size, into the cover and just a 2 count on Mike Bird, and it's Sellström who once again proves, despite his somewhat diminutive stature, that all the power still retains in that smaller body. He's got a pit bull-like mentality.
Yeah, I keep telling you, it doesn't matter size. Like, this guy hits 2 times the size.
Those European uppercuts, knife shot
and
again.
Another one, there
right
we go.
Back turn there. Well, I think the buffet's just been opened once again, ladies and gentlemen. There's beef on display.
Beef, and we are going to do our food.
Yeah, I tell you what, you could tenderize the Iceman, but he has come for this. And look at him, just like, looks like he's almost chewing on Mike Bird. It's like, he's looking at him, he's thinking, you know what, this is pigeon meat in my world. And ultimately, Mike Bird has got a fight. Look at that, Mike Bird is really putting some pepper on these strikes. There is no love lost, and just an open hand strike.
Pep in that step.
And again, oh my God, Lord of inside out, upside down, Mike Bird has been turned in by Jakk Sellström, and they're looking for a cover. That was a velocity. You saw the neck snap off the middle rope there. Mike Bird, the velocity of that was sent in, and now
most men wouldn't get up from that sort of thing, but Mike Bird, is built different.
Mike Bird is built different, he has to be built different, but let's just take in for a moment the fact that Jakk Sellström is manhandling the head trainer of one of the best training schools in the world. He's literally manhandling a man who is quite honestly churning out all of the best. Speaking of manhandling, that one strike sent Mike Bird sprawling to the outside like a discarded chicken bone. Outrageous behavior, and Jakk Sellström is now just stalking Mike Bird like roadkill on the side of Route 66.
Or the M40, whichever.
Yeah. I mean, you know, is the M40 as glamorous? Maybe not, but, you know, it's got a special place in our hearts. And I'll tell you what, things are getting ugly here. They're going out into the audience, and Mike Bird just struck Jakk Sellström right in the chin in a European uppercut. And nobody's safe when these two decide to brawl. Now Jakk Sellström replies, and oh my God, that's something you don't often see. Normally it's the ring post that's in play.
No, there's carpet burn there from the ring.
There's carpet burn indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Bird has just crashed into the hardest part of the ring, and Jakk Sellström gets into the cover once again. Just a 2 count.
One thing I always pick up on here is the covers for the pin. And a lot of people forget, like, you know, you've got to make sure they're synced in deep. You've got to make sure you're covering every part of the body, the upper body, the shoulders. Oh, that's beautiful.
Wow, locking up with a leg drop.
Every time one of these guys makes a pin, they're covering every part of that upper body. They're making sure it's synced in. As I said at the start, technical showcase.
That's something you mentioned, of course. You've mentioned it on your podcast as well, and we've mentioned it on comms before for different promotions. When you have body-on-body coverage like that, you have to make it count. So many wrestlers these days, they don't take care of the fundamentals enough. They don't get enough coverage across the body. They don't try and put leverage on the shoulders to get their man down. Speaking of leverage right now, he's got that leg all knotted up, tied up, and see Mike Bird looking to capture the exposed head, and that's what happens if you keep staging guys.
Oh, there we go. He's locked that round and underneath. That's synced in deep as well.
A variant of the Indian Deathlock by Jakk Sellström there, absolutely knotting up the legs. And again, there's the height advantage, I think, of Mike Bird, the extension there. And now, oh my God.
Wow, violent.
Just a Uranagi lock and just smashing his head into the floor. Technical prowess seems to have gone out the window for a moment there.
Just for a moment.
Now Mike Bird looking to regain his air, looking to regain his composure. That's what these guys do so well. So many guys get lost in that moment. These guys are able to regain their composure so quickly. And that is something that Mike Bird is going to have to do, because Jakk Sellström, as we've seen already, not just in image but in mentality, is ice cold. Now Mike Bird looking to take him up, potentially for a giant backbreaker, but Jakk Sellström able to reverse the momentum. A European uppercut, and again.
It's going back to those, we've seen them to effect
one
earlier.
Strap's down, the other strap might just fall off of this right now. It's just a
trade
trade-off. It's time for the... Oh, wow! God! The collision there. Jakk Sellström has took his chin clean off. These two men are just levying power against each other.
Beef, tenderizing beef.
Yeah, beef on beef action here at Coliseum. And the buffet once again is open. And Mike Bird tees off with a huge European uppercut. Almost decapitates him. I'm glad he's not wearing that crown, because that would have gone flying into the third row. And going very smart there.
They've gone out of that.
Absolutely. Jakk Sellström going low there, looking for the... Oh, look out. And now Mike Bird has isolated the arm. Looking to somewhat in play. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Mike Bird is just a different level of technical excellence. And again, we're looking at that tight grip there.
Great technique.
That grip is important. Oh, Jakk Sellström has managed to counter him. Mike Bird's
on the rope.
Yeah, Mike Bird's foot was on the ropes, but Tom Scarborough didn't see that.
The thing is,
not like Tom Scarborough to make a mistake, is it?
Definitely not.
Absolutely not. And oh wow, there's the power advantage, maybe, of Mike Bird just muscling him up and over with a back body dropper now, looking to snap off a huge
the power!
brain
buster!
Absolutely gorgeous technique, as you would expect at this point. Mike Bird into the cover.
There we go.
Just two. Referee Tom Scarborough right in the perfect position. And if you didn't hear, he'll certainly let you know about it as the best in the game.
Absolutely.
And there is quality everywhere right now in the Coliseum. Two of the greatest technical wrestlers this country has ever produced. And Spinebuster Media and Matt Raven Photography are going to have their hands full capturing these beautiful moments here at Stanley Arts.
Mike Bird.
Mike Bird looks to take to the skies. The Birdman.
Oh,
he got caught. He got caught with the legs, and now it's
into the Sub-Zero.
Sellström's got the Sub-Zero locked in, and Mike Bird taps out. Mike Bird has tapped out of the hands of Jakk Sellström. How do you like that? You know what he said? That's what he said. He said, out with the old and in with the cold. He sees Mike Bird as a relic of old, forbidden technical marvels. And he has now dispatched Joel Redman and Mike Bird.
Oh, boy.